mouth, talking things they love, talking of the toys from the stars above. Join Dave of the Dead and Ryan Speaks Geek as they keep 375 alive.
I'm just going to do that every single time. Hello and welcome to 375 Alive. I'm Ryan Speaks Geek.
And I'm Dave of the Dead. And today we're talking Hasbro Pulse, the fan stream, the May 2026 fan stream. Ryan, it's May the 4th in a few days. It's that time of year where everyone wants to sell you stuff.
Yeah. It's almost like there was a movie coming out. Not that you would have realized that from the stream, but yeah, I just where do you want to start with the stream itself?
Well, yeah, we can get straight into it. I'll share my screen if you want. I'll have the YouTube presentation up while we go. If there's anyone watching, just drop something in the comments, like, you know, what did you like, what didn't you like about the stream, and that, like, you know, what are you looking forward to, and all the rest of it. We're only talking 3 3/4 inch action figures. That's what we do here on my channel and Ryan's channel. So no Black Series talk if we can help it. Plenty of vintage collection, plenty of retro collection. But one noticeable absence was no Mandalorian and Grogu reveals. How do you feel about
that? Odd. I get they don't want to spoil stuff, but it feels weird that they didn't even mention it. Like, you would have almost not thought there was a film coming out in like 3 weeks, 3 and a bit weeks, or whatever it's going to be. Like, you know, I find that a bit odd. Like, I wasn't expecting loads of Mandalorian and Grogu reveals, but I thought they'd at least mention, like, oh guys, you know, we've got some cool stuff coming, you know, or just some kind of acknowledgement about the film that's coming out, considering this is like the big May the 4th with the stream and stuff. Like, I found that odd that we didn't even get like much of a nod.
Thought we might have gotten something there. But what we did get, what we kicked off with, was it was quite well. It was 3 3/4 inch heavy for the first half of the stream, which is great. So we got straight to vintage collection. So we'll be talking vintage collection, we'll be talking retro collection. We'll come back and talk about the Disney Builder Droid that dropped today as well, and maybe close up with some final thoughts. But yeah, the first reveal, it's your favorite packaging out there. It's a white box 4-pack. And I'm not saying that ironically. I mean, it is like this is the way you do army builders. I think minimal packaging.
100%. Sort of it's a mix between the old mail away boxes and like the you know, new packaging. I kind of feel like it's a good balance between the two. And also it's just I just don't think, you know, this is, I've said it a few times, but I always feel that the TVC packaging limits the line. So when you get something like in an army builder, I think this is so much better. Like, just whack 4 in a box, and there's no specific character in this, which is like what an army builder should be. So there's not one that's like specifically super different. You know, there's not like, you know, you've not got 3 troopers and Keith, like, you know, just come down. You know, who can only be Keith.
But we do have 2 variants, which is good. So you can legitimately army build this, get a nice sort of range of your flying Geonosians and your ground ones. It's going to be nice. Sorry, it is a great sculpt. Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of the 2002 ones on the shelf behind me, and they're impossible to really sort of stand now. Like, the plastic was quite flimsy, and the legs sort of splayed out at an odd angle. So yeah, it should get some
jaunty angle.
All that's missing, really, if I was being like, if I wanted, you know, the moon, like, some flight stands. I think flight stands would be great for these sort of characters, the winged characters.
Even just one, I think, would have been a nice little addition. But the weapons look great. The sculpt looks awesome. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be 2 different versions of the Geonosian. So like the drones almost that you see in the hives, and then you got the flying ones, and the wings look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with the wings.
Yeah, there's sort of added articulation in that they obviously go up and down, but they sort of come out as well. It's a nice touch. Yeah, obviously this is part of the Battle of Geonosis campaign, isn't it, that they're running this year? Hey, Joby One.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey man.
Yeah, it's a solid start, I think. We know that we'll Poggle the Lessers coming this year, the Picador and the Ore. So just a few more versions to add into the mix is always a good thing. I'm just sort of trying to play the stream. I'll just sort of try and pull up certain images. I don't know why why there's so much lag on my screen, but
I
yeah,
do
like
like
just
the armor detail. Looks cool.
if I think we had this conversation like this time last year. It came to like the shiny, shimmery,
Mm,
like without doing the chrome detailing, but it's effective. Yeah,
it works. It works.
yeah.
I like it.
So it was a solid start to the live stream. Let's pull up the next one, and like this is what Hasbro do, and I've no complaints with this. This is just a straight up, repack, repaint of your basic clone, but done in the Commander colors. So yeah, I mean, you were a big prequel boy growing up. Attack of the Clones.
I
Like,
was.
did you have many clones like growing up? Was Attack of the Clones
I
quite heavy? I know Phantom Menace was.
I had the sneak preview one figure because I got all the sneak preview figures. I struggled to find actual clone troopers very often out in the wild. And then I got really excited because Entertainment Earth did 4 4-packs, and it was one was just all 4 white clones. 1 4-pack was the 4 ranks, so green, blue, yellow, and red. And then they did dirty versions of those as well. So
Yeah.
and I was surprised to see this on a single release. I really thought they were going to do the Entertainment Earth thing, and I thought we were going to get a 4-pack with the 4 ranks in.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to get individual carded. I mean, it looks awesome, and it does look good, and it's definitely, I think, a clone design that's probably been underloved because it's one of my favorites. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, it took them a while to get the new sort of sculpt for the clone trooper, but now that we've got it, we are just going to get every color variant going. I don't have a yellow version. I don't have this specific clone trooper from any era, so yeah, I'll be adding it to my collection for sure.
And it's nice that it's so detailed as well. Like even having the red dot on the back of the fin, they made a point of showing that.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Well, I think because the vintage collection is obviously getting more expensive by the day, so I feel like if you're paying for that, you want to have like top notch, and for a figure that ultimately doesn't have a lot of in regards to like detail, you have to make sure you do capture those little details, like the dot on the back of the the almost like the light, the sensor bit on the top of the fin. But yeah, I think the sculpt's great. I think they nailed it. I mean, it's a hard one to mess up, but it's also it looks great.
You say that. we've had years and years of big helmet, small helmet, the gummy helmets, the skinny limbs. Like this seems to be the most in proportion version we've got today. Yeah, it'll be hard to beat, I guess.
I look forward to seeing it in all its different colors.
Yeah, well, we got the blue version in Ahsoka packaging, so yeah, this is like the next one. Just you can see I'm rattling through just the live stream. No, let's not go too far ahead. So Plo Koon is the next one announced. So this is an interesting one because the soft goods robe is stitched all the way down, which I'm guessing is screen accurate, but it also, just based on these images that we can see, doesn't show you a lot of the actual figure. Like it's a great head sculpt, and those hands look all right.
But the cloak, it's a bit much, isn't it?
It looks big. It looks oversized.
Yeah, and I guess that's to be able to put it on and off the figure and be able to move the figure still with that. But especially around this bit here, like around the shoulders, he's sort of drowning in it.
I think it will require a bit of manipulation, I think, won't it? Like when you get it in hand, maybe run it under tap, like, and try and mold it a little bit, and yeah.
I hate to say it because it sounds like such a mean thing to say, but it reminds me of Uncle Fester.
Yeah, because because it makes his shoulders look like they're coming up, isn't it? Yeah.
I think I just see Christopher Lloyd like in his Uncle Fester big, robes, and I kind of feel like, and I like the fact they're doing soft goods, and this isn't a big bash or anything like that.
No,
It's just
no.
obviously, and this isn't a line I collect. I'm all, I'm a retro guy. I'm vintage and retro, but this is a character I do love dearly. I just can't get my head quite around the robe still. The head
No.
sculpt looks phenomenal. Really like that. But the robes, I'm still just a little bit like, I don't understand.
Yeah. You're right, Sting. Yeah, his robe could be problematic.
It's like it needs a
It was
heat
just-
gun on it to shrink it a little bit. Like just
yeah,
bring it
again,
all
I
in a
think,
bit.
yeah, or just a couple of extra little stitches maybe in the elbows to sort of cinch a few bits in. I'm no sewer, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'd much rather prefer soft goods over plastic on Jedi for sure. There was like a Power of the Jedi version of Plo Koon, wasn't there, that had
Yes.
the sculpted robe, and it looked really good. I didn't realize that's how his robe is. So at least it's screen accurate, I guess, in terms of the way, it's not one of those open cloaks. But yeah, I'll
I like
reserve
that.
judgment until I can see a bit more, I guess. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, go on. Sorry. Final thoughts on Plo Koon, or do you want to go straight on to
No,
the
I was
next
just
guy?
gonna say, I'm just thinking Jedi power battles. I'm just thinking like I could get like the big bit of a flow thing going on, maybe. But I do think like heat gun, shrink it a bit.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be some collectors' MVP or if other collectors are just going to be what the hell. But I am loving this, and this is something that we've
Let's
talked about
field
on previous
awesomeness.
streams. Was Anakin original '96 card, like old man Anakin, and you were like, "No, we've had the 3-pack, we're done." I was like, I still think they will.
Well, I hate to piss on your bonfire, but technically, I'm gonna do the old glasses move when I say that. Technically, it's the spirit of Anakin that's on the card that you need, and that isn't the spirit of Anakin.
Well,
But will you be satisfied with having just
no, this is fine. This is a good compromise because I think they had that in hand one, didn't they? They had an in hand Anakin. I don't know why I'm getting a spinny wheel every time I try and pull it up, but so yeah, the brown robe was in hand, but they had the sort of grey robe for the press image, and obviously the grey robe is that's the original '96 coloring, isn't it?
yeah.
I
Will he
think
come
it's
with two
great.
robes? Maybe.
Oof, maybe.
I
And
mean,
he
one
too.
of them came. A version of it came with two heads. So
This is true. Yeah, yeah. I've got enough brown robes lying around, I think, in my in my accessory drawers that I can live without. It's an interesting one. It doesn't come with his lightsaber, just like the original '96 version didn't come with a lightsaber. So maybe they could pack a robe in for sure. Yeah. It's a basic enough figure, but again, it's one for those the purists, those original '96 collectors, of which my wall back here is paying homage to in its own little way. So yeah, very
yeah,
happy to get this
great to
one.
see.
It's an interesting wave. Like obviously, all these are going to be part of the same wave, and there's not a lot of it's not a very coherent wave, is it? Obviously, you got two from Attack of the Clones. Then we jump to a character that isn't in the movie and is is based on an original '96er, and then we move to another curveball completely. And again, like I wasn't expecting this at all, but I think given how well the Heir to the Empire 3-pack went down last year, they're just carrying on in this vein by the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, how this is awesome. It gives me hope for Shadows of the Empire's figures.
Yeah.
So there's not a stream goes by where I don't find a way to mention Shadows of the Empire. But
As well you should.
as well I should. But I do think like it's really encouraging though, and it's great because that's what the Kenner, the old Kenner line and the '90s Kenner line when it was like Kenner Hasbro, like in the Power of the Force 2, Power of the Jedi, we had all sorts of characters, you know, and it should be, it's world building, isn't it? You know, and story building. I kind of feel like we should have characters like this, you know, in and out, you know, it looks
Yeah, no,
good.
totally. I'm all for them going outside the box with it. And so we didn't get any Mandalorian and Grogu reveals, but if they're going to reveal stuff like this instead, it shows that they are treating the vintage collection a bit more seriously. They're not just packing in. I know we've still got main characters and factions to get, but yeah, I mean, this isn't just a straight up. Well, probably heavily kit bashed, but it's an all new Luke face sculpt, which looks suitably bizarre. Just like his Black Series counterpart last year or the year before. One thing I did note on their live stream when they had them in hand was they were talking like these are very much still prototype versions, which leads me to believe these aren't going to be hitting stores anytime soon. I know that the pre-order date for all of the vintage stuff revealed it's going to be May the 4th, but
yeah,
we might be a little way out yet on.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be like October this gets actually released, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, and because even like in this bit, it looks like more like a grey, the hood. So I'm guessing obviously they got different versions and different materials. They're trying out different things. Also, the inner leg here is like brown. I think on the other thing, but like again, just cool that we're getting these characters and there's different versions of characters. So what we need now is them to do a vintage collection deluxe Luke with his desert skiff, Han with his smuggler unit, you know, Boba Fett with the giant over the top rocket pack, you know, with the big wings,
Right.
the Corral Control Stormtrooper. I want a Power of the Force 2 deluxe expanded universe set.
made into vintage collection sort of. Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm bringing it.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah,
lastly,
happy with him. Yes.
I know I said we weren't getting many main characters, but we are. We're finally, I think we're almost, have we completed the Rogue One crew now? We got Maze Mouse earlier in the year and now Bodhi Rook. I think after 10 long years, we finally have the crew in super articulated 3 3/4 inch form.
Finally.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
So the backpack, am I right to believe that that's the original backpack from the 5 points of articulation one? Is that what they were saying?
Is that what they said?
I'm pretty sure they said they reused that backpack.
Okay, maybe they did. Maybe they did.
I'm pretty sure because it's the one where I think if you press the button, it the repels back in. But I'm almost certain they said they were reusing the backpack, which I have zero problems with because it's functional, it works, and it looks great.
Yeah, if it works, then I guess it does look a little bit familiar. Like it's quite oversized. I don't have my figure on display with that backpack because it's so sort of top heavy. I like the goggles. The goggles like really translucent. You can really sort of that really shows on that image. That's quite impressive.
What I really love about that though, if they have actually used that backpack, that means this is one of the first TVC figures that actually has a play feature. Because no, genuinely, no, we're almost getting back into the days of it being a toy. Like you press the button and the line comes back in, like it reels itself back in. So like that's a play feature. Like so, this is a TVC figure with a play feature, like a toyetic toy element play feature, and I am very happy about that.
He's not going to fit then, is he? He's not going to fit with the rest of the crew at this rate. I hope they fix these hinges. I hope these dark hinges on the elbows and shoulders are just production versions and not the final product. Oh, it's not going to be the final product, but
sure they'll blend them in.
Yeah, but no, it's a great looking figure, great looking sculpt as well. They captured Riz Ahmed really well there, and you expect them to now in this day and age with their photo reel. So but as a wave then. So Bodrook, Anakin Skywalker, Force Ghost, Plo Koon, Phase 1 Clone Commander, and Luke.
Luke.
It's an odd wave. Like it's you could say it's probably one of the best waves they've ever done because it's just so out there. I don't think anyone would have predicted maybe even 3 of the figures that they've announced today.
No, it's a great wave of curveballs, and I like that. It's got something for the overall theme of the return to Geonosis, and it's got, you know, and then it's got curveballs and like stuff from the EU. It's got stuff from like the original Kenner days, and it's got something from Rogue One, which, as they said, at the 10th anniversary. So it sort of ticks like it's something. There really is something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a solid start. So the pre-orders go live May the 4th. We don't have a date for release. Oh yeah, here they are together. Like that is, that is
Great, isn't it?
as much of a mismatch as you'll ever get, I think, in a CVC wave. But it shows that they're quite happy to go here, there, and everywhere. So long may that
As
continue.
they should.
Yeah. It's very.
But then that's not the only TVC release that was
It
talked
wasn't the
about.
only TVC release, and this sort of harks to your your gripe with the vintage collection in general and the limitations with their packaging. So
Yes, it
in
does.
getting San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it will be on Hasbro Pulse as well. All the suspense. Like,
Dun, 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 dun. But these pictures look freaking awesome. I think, as they said, it was Matt who took the pictures, but like,
yeah,
good
the toy
lord, are they good
photography
pictures?
insane. Yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's pull another one up. Yeah, so we get original Asajj Ventress with the white eyes from the original Clone Wars Tartakovsky series and Anakin Skywalker. That's a 2-pack.
It
Yeah,
looks so
phenomenal.
good.
It does look really good, doesn't it? Like,
I thought they were
especially
going to
these.
talk about droids and Ewoks when they said about like, oh, an animation callback and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Tartakovsky Clone Wars isn't something I associate with Saturday morning cartoons, but for me it was always on in the like early evening Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
But
I've still
yeah,
got my VHS that I made a label for, and I recorded them
did
all
you?
off the TV. Yep. And
That is
then I
some
got really
commitment.
happy because the second season they just did I missed them, like, to record them on my VHS, and then they did one thing where they just aired them all in order. I was like, oh my god, this is the best day ever. And I watched all of it, and then me and my mate Josh Leonard, we stayed up late, we watched it all, and then we went straight from the end of it into watching Revenge of the Sith midnight premiere.
It works so well.
It
As
was
much
so
as I
good.
love, as much as I love the current Clone Wars, like the one that succeeded this, like this is perfect viewing if you want to do something and then go into Revenge of the Sith.
It's not many things you can see Shaggy from Scooby Doo as a Jedi, so I take that away. But yeah, look at that
Yeah,
photography on that, man. That is insane. But yeah, the packaging. Look what they can
the
do when
packaging.
it's not confined to having a silver trim. Like, they've turned it into a TV. Like,
Yeah, an
freaking
interesting.
sweet.
Yeah, an interesting decision to move away from the classic sort of vintage collection package and move to a sort of slipcase. There we go. Yeah. Oh, so
With the
that's this
VHS
is the
in the
inner
TV as well.
parts. Yeah. Sith
What
tracking
I think
system.
is
Nice.
thought was really interesting as well, because like, I thought that when they're talking about retro packaging, they were going to talk about those white cards, the figures, that small line of figures they did do. I thought they were going to say it's
Yeah.
going to be on one of those white box things. So the fact they've just done something original, cool, and new, I'm like, I am all for this. The little speaker, the auxiliary ports, the volume and tracking buttons. Like, I'm tempted to pick this up. Like, as a non-vintage guy, I'm still tempted to pick this up because I like it all so much, and I think I would display them inside the TV. I'd take the inserts out, but I think I'd have them in the TV, and I think I'd
Yeah.
print the background from that episode in and stick it in the box. I think I'd use the box as like a display frame.
Yeah, it's cool. It's different, and again, it shows that they're not afraid to look at other media as well. In the sort of across those previous 50 years, and I guess because we've got a 50th anniversary coming up, maybe this is part of them wanting to celebrate all things Star Wars and not just
It's
the
worked
original
very well
movie.
for the Transformers line.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've been doing a whole thing of like Transformers Legacy, Age of Primes, and they've been going back to like random comic book characters, you know, things from like Japanese series, English series, Beast Wars, manga, modern series, Energon, like a couple of years ago, Rescue Bots, the first like Fisher Price type ones. Like they've
oh,
just
yeah,
done,
yeah.
they've done nods to everything in this line, and like that's worked really well. People loved, like, really enjoyed that and loved it. So why not Star Wars?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, a few years back, they probably would have considered this to be too much of a risk to do, unless it was pure, straight up repaints or repacks of previous figures. And I know we've had pretty much everyone that we've had revealed so far, apart from Luke, the as the Empire Luke. We've had, we've had previous versions, but not for years and years and years. So to get super articulated versions of these is very welcome. Thank you, Hasbro.
Exactly. And look at that. Even Joby One, I know, who is a diehard Black Series collector, is tempted. So
Well,
that's
that's
the
saying
epic
something.
power this has.
That is saying something. There was one thing I did pick up on this, which is quite welcome, was the hilt for Ventress. So I think her clone, like the previous Clone Wars version, her hilt was ridiculously thick and blocky and square. So I think they've just, they've made that slimmer. So that was a comment for me, I guess. Yeah, that was it for the vintage collection. I think we're about to move into your favorite part of the stream.
retro. Yeah.
Well, I say favorite part because obviously we're both big retro collection fans here. But were you satisfied with what you saw? Because obviously we didn't see any new figures revealed, but we did
I
get
never
some.
thought I never thought there was going to be new figures revealed, because I know this is like this one stage. This is basically, I think, pretty much what we're getting this year. But I know there's big plans for next year. So Steve has said that on a few of the retro groups. He's come in and said that, you know, there's big plans for it. And I think the first box set we got with like this year, that where we had like Dr. Evazan, you know, that, and all the new characters, the ceremony, Luke, that showed that there was a real appetite for actual characters from the original trilogy that we didn't get.
Oh, yeah.
So I've
And to
just
get
noticed, I've got
oh,
to laugh at that.
I look forward to it. Catch up. You might be caught up by the time we get to the end.
Yeah. So I wasn't disappointed that there wasn't new reveals.
No.
But like I knew this was going to be more about seeing them in the boxes and hopefully getting like a release date, because I thought they were building up to do a pre-order date by the end of the last figure reveal, because they were doing it like
Right.
one, which I quite liked, because it was like building up the things. Like, if we're going to have one thing this year, let's build it up and keep the momentum going. And then it just went quiet, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, and I didn't like that. But you know, what's nice is that this was much more about the packaging in a lot of ways. Obviously, I know I'm a loose collector, but I do cut them off carefully off the cards, because I do really like the retro like design cards. And they've really listened to fans on this, because they've got rid of the weathering.
That's the biggest thing, isn't it? That's the biggest.
Yeah, was not expecting them to get rid of the weathering. I'll be honest. I thought that was a mainstay. I wonder if this is an excuse to re-release every other retro collection figure now with the packaging.
Well, it might be. Oh no, yeah. No, you're
I'll
probably
settle for the Stormtrooper. It is in a box, in those nice kind of retro style boxes. I think we've accepted at the moment it is like this is the form of retro collection for the moment, until it picks up more momentum and like proves that it can be a big seller. That's why they're sticking to the box format, because it stops peg warmers, because everyone's getting, you know, those particular characters. As Joby One just said, the sticker is way more removable now. Like, it's got less tack to it. It's a less tacky sticker, and they've made it smaller. I think they mentioned. I think
it doesn't look that much smaller. Oh no. Yeah, so actually, I'm looking over at the wall, and they shaved a fair bit off. I think if the one on the left wasn't covering up Wedge's face, it would. I'd be
Yeah.
far more inclined to go, oh yeah, the sticker's smaller, but the fact it's still covering up a huge portion of the image.
Yeah. At this point, it feels like a bit of a waste of paper to do the sticker because I don't think anyone's
Yeah,
particularly fussed about them either way. Like some people really hate them, and I think the people that don't hate them are just like, yeah, it's there. But yeah, unpunched, clean cards, new back design for the cards as
yeah.
well,
Okay, so let's get on to that
which is
because it's
way better.
it is better. I still don't think it's like perfect. You still got a ridiculous amount of text on here, but yeah, it's nice to see the images and on the way that they used to do them on the multicolored backgrounds around in the original sort of line.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
almost expecting to see like a yellow Return of the Jedi background and sort of have the collect
I
all
was hoping for
however
that
many. I think there's
because
laws to stop them from doing that. I might be wrong, but I'm sure that there's something preventing them from showing off products that is no longer available, which is why they have to limit it to what is just pretty much in the current wave. Or
yeah, just even if they just put previously released or something, I don't know, like some kind of
yeah.
caveat. I mean, there's enough bloody text on there to add something. So, I mean, that's the other crazy thing is that how much text has to go on a packaging of this now.
I guess
Like,
I'd rather have it on the back of the card than be shown in the bubble. If I'm displaying them it carded, then yeah, keep the
yeah,
front clean and keep the back boring. But yeah,
but it is like, it sounds like we're bashing it, but like it is genuinely a really good improvement. The colors are good,
absolutely.
a huge improvement.
Yeah, it's so much better. And
And I'm
from the actual images that we're getting, it's only Princess Leia who's using an existing image. All the other cardback images, but to be fair, all the other figures haven't been done in the vintage collection, so they're all sort of exclusive to retro. And yeah, and the cardbacks to suit. So you'll get collectors that will want to get these just for well, I will be picking them up just to have on the carded wall. So that means I'll be getting 2 sets.
I'm getting 2 sets, but and I'll explain why in a bit. But yeah, I am absolutely with Matt. Like, I can't wait to get this set. I genuinely am looking forward to what's coming for retro because, like I said, Steve's been on the collector groups and he's hyped it up and just said like some really exciting things coming in the future. Obviously, when we've met Steve when he's been over, like we went for a pint, like said obviously couldn't tell us anything, but just said that he has an idea of what he wanted, where it wanted to go, and this is much more in line with what he originally wanted to do with the line as well. This is what it was always meant to be, was to be characters that hadn't been made, and then maybe 1 or 2 reissues, not the other way around. In fact, this is a straight sort of just new figure wave. Makes me very happy.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the retro collectors fall into 2 camps. One is just wanting the original 96, and the other is wanting to expand on the original 96 and go and do what we're seeing now. And I don't think this version could exist without the other, or vice versa. I don't think they could just do original 96 characters without pushing forward as well.
I'm happy to have a bit of a mix.
Yeah,
I don't mind. It's nice to get some very clean versions of characters that are maybe harder to pick up. I'm less keen when it's things like Gamorrean guards and Admiral Akbar, because like they're in every pound box in pretty good nick a lot of the time, when we go to any of these shows. But when they do like the last 17 figures and things, I'm like, yeah, it makes total sense to me. Like I'm think that's a great idea. But that's because I don't collect for value, I collect for enjoyment. I don't collect as investment. Everything I got is purely for fun, and I'll play with it. That's why I don't keep things boxed. It's just not my thing. However, we did, I think, sadly, get a bit of confirmation that I was not hoping for about CZ3.
Oh, did they confirm? Okay, so yeah, what did they say?
Well, because my biggest dream for CZ3 is to be removable limbs,
Yeah,
because then that way I can use one, I can get 3, I can use 1 in Jabba's palace, 1 in the Sandcrawler, and 1 to walk the streets of Mos Eisley. However, in the chat, because it's Chris mentioned that it wasn't vac metal, so they've used the same material that the other characters are made of, like that polyvinyl or whatever it is
Yeah.
called. So it's like softer plastic. So, and also that's why he's got a grip hand, even though it doesn't come with an accessory. First droid, protocol type style droid, I guess, that has a grippable hand, which is cool. But I think that tells me that's not removable limb.
You might be right.
So,
Yeah.
however, what is kind of good about that though, if it's made of that same sort of plastic setup as the other figures, the old boil and pop could be
Oh,
a lot more manageable with that. Whereas if it was not removable limb and made of hard plastic like the 3PO,
yeah.
that would be
You're right.
impossible. I'd be having to cut things, and I don't like that. But
Yeah.
with this method,
Uh,
if it's not removable limb, but it is soft plastic, I should be able to boil and pop, and I should still be able to make my CZ4 and 2, for argument's sake. My armless one for the Sandcrawler, and one armed and no legged one for my Jabba's Palace, like that.
do you think if they had added removable limbs, if they had made this in that way, do you think his name pill would have matched 3PO's to say CZ3 with removable limbs? Because that was a selling point of that 3PO
Yeah,
figure, and it was Um, I mean, I hope you're wrong, but I think you're right. Unfortunately, yeah, it'll be a nice surprise if when you do rip them out of the package. Obviously, I know which one you'll be opening first, and like trying your best to prize them apart. But yeah,
100%.
but that's a small
Yeah,
gripe, isn't it? Because it's a killer wave.
minuscule.
I've known about this wave for some time, but again, seeing those card backs just reinvigorates the interest again in the retro collection.
I'm really digging the Wedge Antilles design. Like, the more I look at it, the more I love it. The Yavin Leia I really love as well. And I think what's really cool is that she comes with a medal, because I know we've all got a load of medals because a lot of us bought multiples of that last pack because we wanted Sand Troopers and Rebel Fleet Troopers. So we
Yeah.
got loads of those medals laying around. However, if you did only buy one, this is a nice thing because they've included a medal, one for her to hold as if she's giving it to someone, but also it means that there is a medal for your Han Solo. So you
Yeah,
can,
true.
and if you get extras, there's even one for Chewie, um, which does not fit around Chewie's head. I have tried.
No, no.
But yeah, I just think it's a really strong wave. It makes me excited to see where they're going with it. If they're
Yeah.
sticking to the 6-box format, do you reckon the next one will be an Empire Strikes Back wave? Or do you reckon they'll continue with A New Hope until they've done all the characters they want to do in A New Hope? Because if they're keeping with the boxes, they've got to keep them in film, at least film brackets.
Yeah, I don't want a mixed one like what we got with Attack of the Clones and Sith.
Mm.
And assuming they're going to only stick to original trilogy for retro, I don't see why we can't get one from each film next year. Get three waves. Maybe I'm being greedy, but Steve did say there'd be more than what we've got this year next year. So at least 2 waves. I'd like to
Yes.
see one more from A New Hope. I know maybe people might be finding that a bit overkill, but it had the least amount of figures released back in the 70s and 80s. And the fact that they've done Wedge, I'm only going to be satisfied with that Wedge if they do some other pilots now, because Luke has been my generic, you know this, but Luke has been my generic X-Wing pilot in my Kenner display. And now that we're getting pilot variants, yeah, I'm going to need a fair few.
At the very least, I would like a Biggs in pilot uniform, which I think is very, very possible.
Yeah, I think it
Maybe
is possible.
cheeky little Porkins, maybe. Wouldn't mind a cheeky little Porkins.
His Power of the Force figure wouldn't look too out of place. With
No, I've seen a couple
the,
people paint him up actually.
yeah,
That
you could
particular
sort of,
figure up.
yeah.
He doesn't fit in the X-wing, though. The vintage X-wing, I think I remember.
No, but then neither do most of the Power of the Force figures.
No, but yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, yeah. So there wasn't I wasn't being sizes there, like, but yeah, I appreciate it's not original Kenner, but yeah. Yeah. No,
Yes.
hopefully this is good good for the future of retro collection, seeing the love and care that they are taking over the package now, as well as just the figure. Because I think they have listened. People don't like the weathering around the edge. I mean, certainly it got better than how they launched it.
Yeah.
They overdid it. So with the sticker, I'm still not a fan of. I think they could change up the sticker from time to time, because Kenner was always putting in different mail away offers, and there was always the sticker always evolved. And in the early days of the vintage collection, we got different stickers as well. So I don't see why it needs to be a solid red sticker every time. But I'm moaning for the sticker bit, Ryan. I've been. I mean, give me more is my only real gripe of the stream, because we got so much. But yeah,
I think as well, like what's sort of interesting about this sort of wave of figures as well is that it is filling in gaps, but it's also creating new wish lists for people, because people are getting one figure. Like we said, well, we've already done it. We've said about like we've got Wedge, now we want Biggs and we want Porkins, and then you get like a character like obviously Leia, and we've got the Luke. And even though there's not much difference in his outfit, people are still going to want a Ceremony Han. We don't have General Dodana yet, which I really want. There's still and let's be honest, the entire cantina of A New Hope is up for grabs on people's wish lists.
You see how well they do with the third party creators like Next 17, sorry, and Stan Solo and the like. When they do those sort of cantina aliens, and anyone really, like collectors want them, which is what prompted Hasbro to visit the retro collection in the first place. A new Han would be good, because it would be a bit. They could do his colors a bit more accurate to the film, but have it as a Yavin Ceremony Han, so it was not to.
Well, the head sculpt on the the old Stormtrooper one isn't too bad. You could just make it look a little bit less wet haired, and we could probably make that work. I think as well, wanted to know what your thoughts were. So on this, obviously we got the R4 droid. Now, I know you've always said about like not big fan of like potential repaint in the retro collection. However, would you like if it was something like the R4 droid or the 3PO mold, if they release like, I know Stan Solo's already done a lot of them, but if they did like the Imperial R4 droid when it came to the Return of the Jedi line, because there's the black one in the Imperial hangar, and if they did R3PO or K3PO from that, would you be happy with that, or would you like want them to do a new mold?
No. I'd want those to be the same sculpt, as much as I don't want them reusing, trooper bodies for different people. I'd be happy with the droids all having. I want them to be uniform. So they'd have to have the same sculpt for me. Yeah. It'll feel very weird if like they released an R2 unit and it was a completely different sculpt in retro collection. No need. The middle leg is obviously a nice touch.
Yes,
obviously that was something that they included in the Droid Factory way back when, anyway. So, absolutely. And obviously on screens you've got Garindan and the R4M9 droid as well. So, just really cool.
Long live retro.
And the pre-order for these is 5th of June, so it's another month away before pre-order.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about that. All the vintage stuff seems to be like on the May the 4th, but like we're still got to wait even longer for not even for the actual release, but like for a pre-order of this line. And then it's like, I just feel like there's dragging it out, and then there's dragging it out.
I think from a financial position, for me, I'm glad they're not all going live on the same day.
True.
But it does make me think, well, if they're not going for pre-order until June, is this going to be the last release of the year then when it actually hits? Are we gonna get November, December, or possibly even January for a release? I mean, I'm not really fussed. As long as they're coming, then fine.
I think as well, like there was did they say it was going to be Walmart in America again?
Oh, do you know what?
or Target.
I wasn't sure. They might
They
be.
did. They put up on the, if you can say, on the pre-order availability screen. I think they
Yeah.
did put like, which I know a lot of people had a lot of problems with their pre-orders last time,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
caused a lot of chaos. I mean, in the UK, it wasn't too bad because I think because I wanted to play it safe because I didn't know how popular it was going to be. Yeah, Target.
Okay.
So I didn't know how popular it was going to be. So I pre-ordered one from Hasbro's Pulse site, and I ordered one from, I think it was Star Action Figures.
Yeah.
So I think I'll probably do something similar if that, Star Action get them. Hopefully they'll get a notification up. So I will be watching them because they sometimes put the pre-orders up ahead of the pre-orders that Hasbro put up. So I will be watching.
Well, yeah, it
So,
says back channel, doesn't it, for the rest of the world? So yeah, hopefully, yeah, all your usual outlets like Star Action and In Demand and the whole
retro sticker retro sticker should be above the bubble like the coin was in. Yeah, I mean that's a great placement actually.
That's not a bad
That's a
shout.
really good shout. That would make sense because then it's not obscured in the picture. That's a really good shout, dude. Really good. His name's actually literally Lou Dude. But I was like, I just call people Doodle. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, if it was up there maybe, and it's sort of like, and then if they did want to do coins later, which I doubt, but it would be cool. Return to the coins.
I think they'll do a coin version. I think they'll do a Power of the Force version of certain retro figures. I thought it might have been last year with the anniversary, it was 40th anniversary of Power of the Force, wasn't it, last year? So we've missed that, but maybe something for the 50th.
I always
maybe Star Wars,
Yeah.
Empire, Jedi, and Power of the Force.
Very possible. And I was totally waiting for the only reveal I keep waiting for is a 3-pack, which is going to have the droids versions of R2 and C3PO and the holiday special Boba Fett. Because they've done a retro Boba Fett.
In retro.
Yeah, in retro, sorry. Because obviously I know they've done a TVC version, but the retro one makes more sense. I've been waiting for that. I keep waiting for them to announce that there'll be a retro 3-pack with those in it. Or I don't know, because I know Steve's quite partial to people who've been doing like comic book repaints of some figures. I wondered if maybe they're toying with the idea of trying to make some kind of animated 6-pack, and they're going to try and do some. If they give Han Solo the head that he's got in the animated thing, that'd be hilarious. His weird triangular face.
I did like those comics or renderings of original Kenner figures, and I know that Steve was commenting on them, but I'm hoping that's not an option for the retro collection. I feel that feels too much of a gimmick for me to do as a main line item. But
I'd love to say I wouldn't get them, but I absolutely know I bloody would.
It's not quite on the level of those prototype figures with the multicolored limbs, but it's.
I had no interest in those.
No, I didn't either, and there's no version of me that regrets not buying them either. So
the only thing that I quite liked that people did was they boiled and popped and made solid colors of it and put them in a frame. Of like the Stormtrooper, like just as a one-off art type piece to have on the wall. I quite liked that idea of having like the Stormtroopers in all the solid colors. It looked pretty badass, but that was about as long as much thing. And I wanted the blue. I did want the Mando prototype, Mandalorian one, purely because the weapon, like his staff gun that he has, that actually came in like proper Kenner blue rather than black, which all the other ones did.
Oh, really?
And I kind of wanted just the weapon because I just thought like it looked so much more Kennery than the other ones, weirdly.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only prototype figure I think I've ever had an interest in. But the other thing for obviously, so that was the Hasbro stream, but we've also seen obviously Disney have done a Build-A-Droid release today. We've had the 4-pack released the other day, and they're re-releasing the Star Tour Speeder.
Yeah, which is great.
Expensive times.
a lot of people missed out on that Star Speeder, and I mean I've got it in hand, and it's fantastic. You've seen it. You've been around.
I've played with it.
You can fit 25 figures seated like in individual seats. Like when I was waiting for the Mos Eisley Cantina, all of my Cantina patrons went in my Star Speeder. Like they were literally just waiting to to be shipped off.
To arrive.
There's that great LED screen where you can view like some of the
Oh,
rides. There's electronics. It's really cool. I want to get an acrylic stand for it to have it in a flight mode because the stand doesn't come with this version. But yeah, really pleased that as much as the builder droids have been an absolute nightmare to get over the last 5 months, if Disney are capable of doing these reissues once in a while, like that hopefully gives us a bit of hope for some of those.
I think
Did you set your alarm this morning for that builder droid?
I did.
So did I.
Well, I say my alarm. My alarm was work. I start work at 8, so I have to sit and set up like quarter to 8 anyway. So I did get myself ready.
See, so the pre-order went live was at 8 a.m. in the UK. I had the screen up. I had the loading page up from 7, and I was just refreshing it, just refreshing it every now and then. So I was like, I know it's 8 o'clock, but just in case it's earlier. It lasted longer than the last couple, but it still sold out within 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, I think there's probably an element of people that probably just maybe have just given up. But also it is a start of a bank holiday weekend in the UK. So I wondered if there was a good number of people that were starting their bank holidays early and just didn't think to set their alarms maybe or something. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, I've seen on some of the Facebook groups that people have bought multiples to help other people out in the community as well, which is good. So hopefully anyone that needs one will find a way to get one if they didn't this morning.
I saw one guy put a post. He managed to get like about 3, I think, from the London Disney store.
Yeah.
He said they didn't even make it onto the shelf. Like they were straight out of the box. People bought them like they didn't even get on the shelf.
Someone picked up 13, but they were already. I think he'd already sort of.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Group. Yeah, so people had sort of put their names down within the group. So, but yeah, you wouldn't want to be behind him in the queue.
No, especially if you didn't get one. But it's nice collectors helping collectors.
No, absolutely, and yeah, sadly, that's where we're at with it because it's not. You can't really blame collectors or people for the scarcity of it. If scalpers are going to scalp, they're going to scalp. But if Disney made better numbers of this, then we wouldn't be in this position. But yeah, it's a nice droid. It was the R460, so it's one of Grief Karga's droids, which means I think between Disney and Hasbro, you've got that droid, you've got his protocol droid, and then you've got G11 as the Marshal. So a few Navarro droids is kind of cool.
Yeah, Navarro's building out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And that BDX 4-pack, I did pick it up today. I was suckered in, partly because I guess it brings the postage down if you add it onto the other droid. I was trying to justify it in my head. It's incredibly overpriced for what it is. They're tiny.
They're really cool. Yeah, they're really cool droids. I think that's one thing about those Disney 4-packs. Regardless of what the size of the droids are, that's the price that those packs. I mean, they've gone up 10 quid, obviously, with inflation because they used to be 40. But yeah, and they're park exclusive droids, aren't they? They're the ones that are at the parks, I think.
If they packed 4 Anzellans in like that and charged the amount they're charging, would you be happy with that? Well, that's just the charge for 4 figures now. It doesn't matter what size they are.
True, very true. I mean, I'm not justifying the price. It was
I know.
That's what it is. But I have to say, I am still looking for the Actionverse Anzellans.
The ship
fighter, the ship with the Anzellans in it, because that will fit nicely into my retro world, vintage retro world. So I would definitely do that at some point. I keep trying to find it, but I've not even found even like the Zeb, which I was sort of semi-tempted with. And obviously we've seen the only Mandalorian and Grogu stuff that we have really seen toy-wise this week has been the Actionverse line, the Razor Crest playset, which also revealed that Embo was coming in the Actionverse line. That was pretty cool. And I know it's not technically 375, but a lot of it's 375 compatible. So I do mix and match with some bits. I miss the Epic World of Action because they were 4-inch, and that meant most of them actually fit in well with the
Yeah, it was
Kenner
closer,
line.
wasn't it? Is this more 5-inch now or 4?
It's closer to 5.
Like teenage TMNT sort of figures, sort of size.
Yeah, they're a bit close to 5, but also they're a lot bulkier. They're like kind of remind me a little bit of Power of the Force 2.
Right.
You know, Luke, Luke
Yeah.
man. You know, that sort of kind of buff type thing. You know, they're much more toyetic. So, you know, I'm not going to moan because they're designed for kids and kids are going to love them. But, you know, the lame part of me, so I sit there going, oh.
No. Yeah, as a toy line goes, yeah, it's nice to see that there are at least toys, even if they're not in our scale. But there are going to be toys on the shelves this month, next month, over the summer. Yeah,
and many popcorn buckets from different.
I was really tempted by that AT-AT popcorn bucket, and yeah, it's way too much.
$80, but we won't get that one in the Odeon.
No,
it'll be just his helmet, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, who knows what we're going to get in the UK? Like something boring, but I mean, it's a hefty size though. Like it's pretty much the same size as the original Kenner AT-ATs. It's that big.
Is it?
Yeah, like I've seen someone like opening it up, and it's you can't see what my hands. Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know how well it will scale, but yeah. I can live with
how about that? Yeah, well, if you see it, you might change your mind. You definitely weren't going to pay 50 quid for 4 tiny droids, but you know that went really well, didn't it? But I think that probably covers it for the live stream and for the figure reveals. It is Friday, so go and have yourselves good weekends, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, as we say, if you are watching this on catch up, please still comment underneath because we do respond to comments. Let us know what your thoughts were on the reveals. Did you like them? Were you happy? Was there anything missing? Was there anything you'd change? And where's my Y-wing pilot? That's all I've got.
Where's your Y-wing pilot? Where are the March Madness winners as well? I know Hasbro doesn't have to do March Madness winners, but need to get some of those ticks off the list. It was a mixed bag. There were a lot of good reveals in it. Maybe it was still a little light, but we're probably going to say that about every live stream that Hasbro do until they stop making figures altogether. Yeah, I'm sure
good to see some brave choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking outside the box. Long may that continue. Thanks, Hasbro, for that. So yeah.
But yeah. In that case, until next time, have a great May the 4th, everyone. May the 4th be with you all. Dave's got a room tour video coming out this weekend, hopefully.
I just need to film it.
Whereas I'm doing the real true fan favorite. I'm doing a Baru-based episode, little video on my channel, which, let's be honest, everyone wants to talk about Baru on May the 4th. But yeah. Have a great time, and until then, make sure you are sharing, subscribing, and keeping 375 alive.
Take care, guys. Bye.
375 alive, talking things they love, talking of the toys from the stars above. Join Dave of the Dead and Ryan speaks geek as they keep 375 alive.